let's just get it out in the open. Wolves aren't playing very well right now.
Ooh.
I'm very, 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 very disappointed in their effort.
What was the scoreline? 2-0?
Crystal Palace, it was 2-0. It was 2-0. We see what happens when we sit Jimenez. I'm part of the sit Jimenez crowd, but we see what happens. Not much of an attack without him. We're seeing things we don't normally see. Kilman was awful.
And I haven't been able to his praises. That's
I haven't
the problem.
been able to say this all season long. Kilman has been phenomenal. He's been putting players in his pocket left and right. Not this time. And I'm kind of curious. One, he's got Ukrainian roots. His mother's from the Ukraine, so maybe there's something that's weighing on the family mind on the back of his head. But I think it's because Gareth Southgate was in the house.
Yeah,
and
that always
you're
messes
being
with
looked at
people.
for possibility of the English team for the World Cup, and I think he's pretty deserving of it.
That's a tough
But
defense to
man,
break into, though.
I tell you, that penalty, he just flung
kind of
his,
a
he
lazy-
just
it
kind
was
of
a
flung
lazy-
his leg out, and that's not what he does. So disappointing.
Yeah, speaking of defenders, there was some shit with Hoover, with the vacuum as we call him over here in the States.
He
what's
sucked.
up with it?
Let me tell you that Hoover
No,
sure
I don't
sucks.
even know about his performance. What was your manager saying? Because that seemed like a little bit of a.
So there's been an issue all
said, like,
season
he's not
long,
working
kinda
hard
like
enough?
Kind of like this underbubbling all season long about the young kids on the squad, and we do have a lot of youth. We do have a lot of untapped potential youth, whatever you want to call it. But there's been like this bubbling all season long about how some of these young kids aren't willing to put in the work, and they figure that, it's my turn. This guy got hurt. I'm gonna be a starter. Like, Kayana Hoover thinks he's on the same level as Nelson Semedo.
Oh, we better get that out of his
And
head. He is not.
He's more on the level of an overripe tomato as it sits right now. But he went into the season thinking that he was going to start. That's not the case. He's showing a little bit of attitude, I guess. But Bruno Lage was asked post match about the injury that he suffered, and Lage very frankly said, if you don't train properly, this is what happens. If you're not ready to play for me, this is what happens. You get hurt. Now I don't like the fact that Lage made that statement publicly. I would have liked him to have taken Hoover in closed doors and said, look, dude, you're just not where you need to be, and you need to step up if you want to continue wearing the gold. And I think there's also been like issues with Trincao and Silva as well, not really being interested because they know they're not going to play, and this is a case of young person-itis. But I just, man,
That's fucked up, man.
I'm not
What's
digging
this
it because
entitlement?
I did the same. I said the same thing with Arteta, and I've said the same thing with Tuchel when they bring issues to the public this way, and I don't like it, and I don't like that Lage did it either. But maybe it needs to be said.
Maybe
I don't know.
You know what? It seems like it's maybe hit a breaking point where he said it. He said it in practice. He said it in training. He said it to the owners. He said it to the players, and it's like, I don't know what else to do. And I feel like that's where Arteta was with, like, I don't know what else, like, what else can I fucking say to them? They know. And so maybe in the locker room it's come to a head of, like, I told him, I've been telling them, they need to work harder, they need to train harder, you're not ready. And then there's this element of, which we see in our everyday life, with the young kids these days. Here we go with our old men sitting on a stoop. Kids these days with their entitlement, and they all think, okay, I've been here 2 years. I've spent a year on the bench. I've spent a year under 23s and under 20s and all that. I paid my dues. He's hurt. It's my time to shine. And you know what? The Premier League is unforgiving. It's unforgiving 100%. I mean,
I'd also like to just like quickly point out, since it's just coming to my head, Kayana Hoover, if he was still with Liverpool, because he came over on the Jota exchange. If you were still with Liverpool, you'd be loaned out to
You'd be playing in fucking Derby County or something.
Exactly. Yeah. You would be loaned out. You would not get playing time. You'd
be
in
a
the Premier
grasshopper.
League. You'd be a well, that's where the Wolves send you. We send you to the Grasshoppers, and we send you to probably somewhere in Portugal or something like that. But you know, if you think that you would have gotten an opportunity to play with Liverpool, you are sadly mistaken.
I mean, look
this was your opportunity to play in the Premier League, and you're kind of shitting on it.
No. And I mean, just look, let's take, for example, who are the other backups in the league who have done amazing things? And maybe not even amazing things, but look at for Arsenal. We have, as backups of left back and right back, Nuno Tavares and Cedric Suarez. Cedric Suarez, not fantastic, but comes in and does his job.
Yeah.
Nuno Tavares actually impresses. But look at Liverpool, what you just said. Who fills in for Trent when Trent's out? Tsimikas. And Tsimikas could be starting for most of the teams in the league.
I would take Tsimikas.
You would take him in a heartbeat.
I would drug test him.
Drug test him for sure. No, I wouldn't, because he looks high as shit and he's fantastic.
He's got the good hookup.
Yeah, him and Vardy. But look at that. Every time Tsimikas comes out on the pitch, he knows. Next week, I am 100%. No matter if I scored 4 goals, 5 assists,
I can have the greatest game known to mankind, and I'm riding fine the next week.
But
or when that player comes back.
I need my manager to know that I am here whenever he needs me, and I'm going to get a winner's medal, because we're going to win something.
Right.
We're going to win a cup. We're going to win something, and I'm going to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And it's not an entitled thing.
Yeah.
And this sort of feels that way.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because at this stage of the season, this is not the time to go back to the drawing board. I mean, the table has separated. The Wolves are at the bottom of that top half, the top 8, and will be for a couple of more weeks, even if they continue this slide. I think they have a 7-point from between 8 and 9. I'm not exactly sure, but I know it's at least more than 3. But this isn't the time to go back to the drawing board.
No, you guys are still on to something good.
Unfortunately, you know, the Semedo injury is going to hurt. If y'all went to the website and read my hot take on the Wolves match, you know, I'd mentioned that the players we're getting back are not ready. You know, Johnny, I wrote, is rustier than a forgotten bicycle, and he looked very, very rusty. The team with lethargic passes, not interested in the match. It didn't seem like. Neto, you're also not ready. I love having you back, but too many mental mistakes.
Yeah, he'll be ready in no time.
I think he'll be ready.
But you guys have a good run coming up. Favorable run.
This was supposed to start our favorable run. Crystal Palace was not in good form heading into this match. Neither were we, and I expected, and that's my word I'm using here, expected a better fight, a better match than 2-0 at the half, you know, or down 2-0 at the half, and then there was a little bit of an attack in the second half, but at that point, you know, it becomes too little too late when you're talking Wolves. When you guys have a hard time scoring one goal, when you see 2-0 Wolves down, as a Wolves fan, you are not very hopeful because we don't score goals yet. We can and we have. We had a nice run, and then we lost Semedo, you know, and I think that had a lot to do with our standing attack.
Yeah.
You know, why Aït-Nouri did not play, I have no idea. Why he did not start, you know. But
that's it.
On to Watford on Thursday. Thanks for softening them up.
You have Watford on Thursday.
That's our last match in hand.
Listen, a lot of Leeds fans are going to be hoping that you guys can win these next couple matches, because I think you have Watford. I think you have Norwich.
We get
right?
Norwich, Watford. We get a lot at the bottom of the table.
And listen,
Everton.
feast on those. Get
hoping.
get
I'm
people
hoping.
back healthy. Maybe if Hoover's not totally injured, maybe these can be some confidence builders, or these can be some fitness builders
I
for
never
Neto,
want
for
to. I
Johnny.
never want to see Kion Hoover on the pitch again. He's
'Cause
awful.
He sucks.
He's awful.
He's a Hoover.
Awful.
He sucks.
Awful.
All right,
already-
move it on.
yeah.
That's it for today's show. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel where we have all the different episodes that are coming out all week long, covering all sorts of Premier League topics.
And if you enjoy what we're doing, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, the Holy Trinity that we ask each and every one of you to
Yeah,
do.
and go to onthestoopwithlolo.com. You can check out what we're up to, and you can join in the discussion groups, talk football all week long, and buy some cool merchandise.
And if you want to be a part of the Stoop crew, you can join us Friday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time here in the States.
Midnight in the
sometime
UK.
across the pond, sometime for our friends out on the West Coast. And join us for happy hour. We have a lot of fun talking about just about anything, and we have wonderful trivia questions at the end.
Banter and trivia, Friday nights live. Join us in the comments. All right, peace from Brooklyn, y'all.